My name is Robert Reardon, and this is my voice, and everybody wants to save money. Here's how to make a budget. As a certified public accountant, I've had 30 years experience with helping clients with how to budget and how to set up a budget or a budget for beginners. I find out in the long run, people thank me for showing them how to make a budget. I myself try to set goals to achieve them. Not winning the lottery, but ones that I can achieve. Number one, take a good look at yourself and your financial statements. I suggest you make a personal financial statement for the last 6 months. Boy, when I did my first one, I said to myself that I did not need to buy any more lottery tickets. It gives you a clear picture of the booze, entertainment, and what you were spending chasing women when you were growing up. Those were the good old days. A lot of people like to know how to budget. Get all the financial records that you can find. I suggest you pull all those shoe boxes and look at the stuff you forgot about. I would start to make a written budget. If it was me, and I'm not telling you that, I would break the groups into income, fixed expenses, and variable expenses. Fixed expenses are the same expenses you spend each month and stays the same, and variable expenses are other expenses during the month like food, entertainment, and transportation, which change in different months. The income would be anything from a W-2 to 1099 to self-employment income. What is it every month that you type income you get? You have a zero-based budget where expenses stay the same each time, while other budgets are based on variable expenses. Do you have dividends from stock, or do you each month get them paid out by annuity? Please also include Social Security. Get an average of the last 3 months of your income. Just kidding, but I believe you can leave out what you want at the racetrack. Try not to leave anything out. That's step one. The fixed expenses will not change every month. Those expenses are like a car payment, the mortgage payment, and insurance on the house and car. If you're paying for bottomland in a swamp, I think I'd get rid of it. The variable expenses are the ones that change every month. Variable expenses are the ones that I would look at very closely. This is where you can save. Of course, you need to come up with an amount, so you need to subtract the expenses from the income. The budget will track where your money is going, like say it's coming in and where it's going out. It will indicate what's left over. You can figure out what you need to increase your income. I've done this a lot of times, seeing what areas that there's wasteful spending going on. I figured for paying for singing opera was not one of them because I cannot carry a tune. Of course, I'm just kidding. List all the financial obligations that you have with the most important ones first. List your mortgage payments first or rent. Boy, just imagine if we had all that paid off. Car payments would be the next thing we look at. List all the expenses. I think you could let go at night and then go to the wrestling matches. I think you can let go to the wrestling matches. Just kidding again. You need to get rid of the ones that are not important. Get rid of excess costs, like buying a bunch of hot dogs at your local fast food place. Try to be flexible in what you're going to try to cut as far as cost. These savings can go into a retirement plan. You can go into Google and figure this out, or you can, if you're not going to do it by hand, type in the Google budget worksheets, and there are very numerous ones. There is software products and even Microsoft Office available. Using a spreadsheet program are great. If you're not an expert on Excel and finance calculations, it could be difficult. I'm not, because I had to go to YouTube to get explained to me. The computer program does not correct any of your spending deficiencies. It's always learning something new. The biggest expense is your mortgage. Removing bad debt and having a good money management policy is always good. The same procedures should be followed every month. Again, you got to think short term, not long term, and be realistic. You're wealth building with a lifestyle improvement. I think that you can go to the movies when you start moving into wealth building. If you're paying on a mortgage, or even if you're paying rent, it's taking about 40% of your income. You know the expense has been paid, but have you ever thought about living in a less expensive house or apartment? Try to live below your means. A smaller payment helps lower the budget monthly expenses. A lower interest rate helps with the balance on your loan. The second budget expense category would be your car. Can you afford a car payment or a lease of $500 or more? This is not a periodic expense, but a monthly expense. Do you need a big car or truck expense? You could save a couple $100s a month and use the money for something else. Maybe a used car that is a couple years old and not as big. A monthly budget planner could be used for looking at what grocery expenses that you have to have. Do you buy expensive foods or eat out a lot? It's something that you should ask yourself. Take the smart way out. When I was 20, of course, I ate out a lot. What if I put a little money into a retirement plan that would grow? What if I had not gone out all the time? Hopefully you're older now and you want to save instead of spending. How about medical expenses? Medical expenses can cut a huge hole in your budget. I had a friend that got hurt and they had to be operated on and had no medical insurance. They ran up a huge bill and started paying on it, but they had to pay it the rest of their lives. There are two ways to pay for medical insurance. If you get Obamacare, you have to pay part of the premium yourself. The regular way, of course, is the insurance companies. It depends on what income level you are and on how many people in your family. Premiums can run as much as $600 to $1,000 a month. Your local hospitals only accept certain insurance providers. Again, one hospital stay will kill the bank. What about a budget expenses for clothes? Do you ever wonder about walking down the street and you see a person with none of the most expensive clothes and wonder what their net worth is? If you like this video, please comment below. Either like it or either subscribe to my channel. I've got several other videos that I'm going to put out. Most of the millionaires dress like the ones I was just describing. People that are riding around in expensive cars and big houses are a lot of times in debt up to the neck. Maybe you could go to Walmart or Target and get those kinds of clothes and cut your costs and save money. A lot of people cannot tell the difference. Your loans have to be paid. You could get a cheaper loan or lower your house payment. If you have a student loan, it could go on forever. You might want to consolidate the student loans into one and get a cheaper payment. Lay off the credit cards and spend money with cash which you can afford. Debt is always the killer of budgets. Your travel on vacation, cost. Are you shopping around for the best cost for travel, room, and board? I hope so. Do you have to go to Europe, or can you spend a weekend in Atlanta to do it? Do you need the most expensive places to go to, or can you settle for something more reasonable? Go to a lot of places that you can look online and shop around. I knew a truck driver who started a budget. He saw where his shortfalls were. This started him to look each month where he could save money. After 30 years, he had enough money to retire on and live the good life. Make sure you leave some money for yourself to have a fun time. Of course, the idea is to spend less. Again, I always thought in a budget, start with your largest financial obligation first. Budgets are a major part of financial planning if you're going to do that. Financial planning is great. It gets you to where you need to go. Budget plans are considered great challenges. The truck driver that I told you about had to break some bad habits. Giving up smoking is one of the things he had to, because he was smoking 2 packs a day. The financial challenge will cause ups and downs, but you have to put up with it. So after reading this, which budget can you do? Fixed or variable? Which expenses can you get rid of? How about comment below and let me know. If you like my channel, please subscribe to it. I've got some great videos coming in the next few weeks, and comment below and like if you would.